Hello, so welcome everyone to this month's Youth Mapper Tanzania chapter training. So my name's Janet Chapman from Crowd to Map, and I'm going to hand straight over to Eric, who's going to talk about what we're doing this month. Thank you.
Hi, Janet. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining. My name is Eric Tambamiali. I'm currently based in Dar es Salaam, Tanzania, and I serve as a Youth Mappers Regional Ambassador for the year 2023-2024. And yeah, so today we actually have this monthly meetups. And we have it on the first week of the month, first Saturday of that first week of the month. And today we are honored to have different kind of talks. So we have Emmanuel from Leadership Fellowship, one of the leadership fellows who was in Jamaica receiving some mentorship skills about leadership. So we'll also hear from Charles from Zambia as our guest speaker. And also first, I'll have a brief training on OSM Teams, which is one of the greatest platform that Youth Mappers chapters could utilize in terms of chapter management and assigning some different roles for the chapters, including alumni and etc. So that's just a brief. So I think Janet, I'll go right away to share my screen. Yeah, let me just do that. Yeah, Janet, can you confirm that you see my screen? Hello?
Yes, Eric, we can see your screen.
Thanks. Yeah. So Youth Mappers is a global network of university-led chapters, and these are co-founding chapters, I would say, or co-founding partners, because they were the first Youth Mappers chapter to be established. And we have our organizing partner, which is Arizona State University. And this program is initially funded by USAID Geo Center. And these are some of our partners. And currently, the network has grown to 78 countries in 382 universities. And this is one of the activity maps. So you could just go on Youth Mappers activity map and see where Youth Mappers are contributing. And yeah, the network activities are from data validation, featured projects. We have partner initiatives. We have local capacity building, chapter-led mapping, integrated research, yeah, and many more. And also we have published our book on the State of the Map 2022 Global in Italy, which we actually we published it. So we have that on Spring, so you could check it and learn more on different kind of projects that were done by Youth Mappers. So yeah, as I earlier mentioned, this is Tanzania Open Mapping Group's Meetup, and we'll be having training on OSM teams, leadership and inclusiveness, and we'll later hear from Charles as our guest speaker. So OSM teams. So as I mentioned, this is a platform that was created by Development Seed and is supported by Youth Mappers. And OSM teams allows for management of groups and communities to organize around existing tools like Tasking Manager, OSM Char, ID, and also improves collaboration. So also OSM teams provide an easier way to connect across platforms, find mappers working in a similar domain, manage coordinated campaigns and tasks. And again, I would love just to mention on how OSM team works, and it's actually easy. So the basics is that we have a term called organization and we have teams. So for instance, I was lucky to participate on the workshop in Italy on OSM teams. And as you can see on the picture, we have Youth Mappers organization on OSM teams. So that means Youth Mappers can organize, can connect to different chapters through the platform OSM Teams. So the teams itself refers to individual Youth Mappers chapters, while the Youth Mappers organization is termed as, the whole collection of those chapters, but led by the Youth Mappers Steering Committee. So we know there are different kind of roles, and we'll get to see them on demonstration of OSM Teams. Sorry. So some of the key, I would say, attributes on the OSM Teams platform include: you could explore all teams that you're part of. You could add team members. You could edit team. You could do a lot of stuff. So we'll just briefly see those functions in just a couple of minutes. But again, I mentioned on organization and teams. So if you are an organization working in the open mapping community or open mapping platform, you could also create OSM, like an organization in the OSM Teams. So let's say we have an organization that has different kind of teams. Let's say there are several teams like mappers, we have validators. We could also create that for your organization. So yeah. So this is like you would visit youthmappers.org to learn more about Youth Mappers as a global network, but also you can send your questions, inquiries about Youth Mappers at info@youthmappers.org. So I'll just go ahead with the demonstration after the last slide. And yeah, so let's say we have, so in order to get to OSM Teams, first I would like to pause if someone has a question. Yeah, but I'll again, if anyone has a question, but I could just finish out the presentation and again. So if you want to get to, or you could also post that question on the chat and I'll get back to that. Thanks. So if you want to get to OSM Teams, you can just simply search on OSM Teams on your browser, and then you just find it written on OSM Teams, and clicking that, you'll land to the first page. So when you log in at first, you will have like a sign-in option. So me automatically signed in. So here you will have your username and a logout section. So you can log in using your OSM username in the OSM Teams. But I want to just explain some different functionalities of this platform. And again, if you want to go through step by step on the user guide, it's available here. And you could learn more on how to interact with this platform. And also, yeah, we have an API that you may want to integrate with your systems elsewhere. So on the dashboard, here, when you click my dashboard, it tells more on the team, on the organization and teams that you're part of. So for instance, I, Eric, as an open mapping volunteer, I am associated with these teams and this organization. So when you just click dashboard, you just land to, so I'm part of one organization, which is the Youth Mappers, which I'm a member, but I'm also part of different teams in the Youth Mappers. So this is kind of very easier to understand. And then on the teams, we have different kind of chapters. So I would say, for instance, in Tanzania, we have 22 chapters currently, but here it shows I am part of 18 chapters alone. So if a chapter needs to, be part of the Youth Mappers in the OSM Teams, the steering committee can create that team for the chapter. So if you just look at the organization itself, which is the Youth Mappers, you can find different kind of teams around the globe as they are portrayed on the map. but again, it is actually very respective to the team itself. Like if it wants to be so the team can either be public or private. So when an organization like wants to be private, it won't be displayed on the map, or the public won't be seeing that organization on OSM teams. But we could also make it public that everyone could see that youth mappers in OSM teams. So the youth mappers itself has different kind of chapters. So we have almost 283 that are registered on OSM teams. So there we need more updates in terms of, yeah. So we in OSM, like in my team, I mentioned earlier, I'm part of 18 teams. So I'll just share on how this is how youth mappers could add different members. So here you could find, let's say, all the youth mappers. There are 4 members currently on OSM teams, which you find that most of the data here is not true. Yeah, so let's say we log into one of the teams in the youth mappers organization. So let's say I log into Mzumbe, yeah, this Mzumbe youth mappers. So the way this works is that we have a youth mappers, Mzumbe youth mappers team, but part of the youth mappers organization. And here we have some details of the youth mappers at Mzumbe University in Morogoro. We have different kind of contact details of that team. But coming to the members, we have different kind of roles. So we have the name, and so this is basically the OSM username. So I want to just clear out that each member or each OSM user has his or her unique ID. So here below is my ID, my unique ID. So for instance, if you want to know your unique ID, so you log in using your ID or your OSM username. So for instance, we have a link here. It's like, who is that? So maybe I'll just copy it and share it on the chat. Yeah, so let me just put it in the chat. Sorry, this is like the direct message. Let me just send it to everyone. So I'll just share the link to the chat. So if you want to know your ID, for instance, I can just type in my name, Eric Tamba, my OSM username as it is written. So it will just tell me my unique ID. This is my unique ID for in the OSM, in the OpenStreetMap. So again, in the OSM teams, you have your username, your unique ID, but in any team we have different kind of roles here. So and we have some badges as well. So you could assign badges. We have different kind of rules, and we have some external profile for that user and different kind of actions here. So for instance, I want to add a member. So let's say I'm a chapter official and I need to update and members that joined my chapter. I could just add easily the members here. So for instance, let me just find a username. Anyone from Mzumbe Youth Mappers who is not part of this team? Anyone? That would be great, but maybe let me just add one of the alumni that I know. So let's say King Edgar. So I'm adding Edgar by using the option of OSM username. So I could also, after getting that, and I have the ID of Ezekiel Edgar, and also click just add that. So Edgar is successfully added as a member, and then to just know exactly if Edgar is successful logged in, you could just refresh. Sorry, my network. Yeah. So after that, you will find Edgar now with hello as a member only. So what I could do, so there are different kind of roles. So there is a moderator and we have a member. A moderator, I would say, is a chapter official who could moderate the OSM, or like the members in the OSM team. And so as a moderator, I could assign different kind of badges. I could also assign the roles. So clicking here, I could say I remove this team member, or I could promote to moderator. So I would say maybe promote to moderator and Ezekiel becomes a moderator, or remove, or let's say remove moderator and Ezekiel becomes a normal member. So we have also other kind of actions. Let's say we have youth mappers alumni who could also OSM teams. So that is actually emphasized by youth mappers as a platform that youth mappers could use to at least manage the membership of the respective chapters. So again, another last thing I want to share is you could also as a moderator, I could also send a link for members to join your respective teams. So for instance, from Zumba Youth Mappers, I can generate a link here and send it to members for them to join the OSM teams. So yeah, thanks. I think that's all. Maybe if anyone has a question. Yeah. Yeah, anyone who has a question or a concern, anything, please let me know. Or you could also post it on the chat.
Good morning, everyone.
Hi. Yeah. Hi, Telvino.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Telvino Melko here from Mozambique.
Yeah.
I do have a question here, just a simple question here. To join the team, is just a local or someone from other country can join the team in Tanzania?
Yeah, so if I got your question right, is it only for chapters in Tanzania or
someone else from other party can join it?
Yeah, sure. So this is generated for a youth mappers organization. As I mentioned earlier, if you have an external organization, you could also create in OSM teams and manage your own members in the OSM teams. But for youth mappers, by specific, any chapter that is identified as a youth mappers chapter can join from different kind of OSM teams that are created by the steering committee. So yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
I have a question, Eric. After creating the OSM team, and who is adding other members? Are they adding themselves, or administrator is adding all the member in the chat in the group? Yeah.
So the way this works, as I mentioned earlier, it would be a public or private kind of login. And for youth mappers, we only have moderators that currently add members in the respective team. So this is, I would say, the chapter officials of a respective chapter. They know their members, so whenever they meet on the training, they register for OSM username, they can easily add them in the OSM teams. And another way I shared on the link, but for members to join themselves, the moderator of that respective team can allow public access, and anyone can join the team. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. I think we are on the 25th minute. Yeah, so thank you guys, and I will definitely share the presentation and the links to this with you all. I think Janet with that, but now I would like to hand over the mic to Emmanuel. Is Emmanuel in here for the second part? Emmanuel.
Yes, Eric.
Hi. Yeah, you could take over.
Yeah, you can share my slides. I thought I was sent for you. Look
Yeah,
on the
sure.
chat.
Okay. Let me just do that now. Hey, let me just in a minute. Okay, so wait. So let me just share my screen again. Yeah, I got it. Just sharing my screen right now. Here you go. Yeah. I hope everyone can see my screen. And then let me just...
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, good morning, everybody. Yeah, I'm going to give a short brief about leadership and inclusiveness and come back to my background. I'm Emmanuel Richard Mai from Tanzania, a youth mapper leadership fair of 2023. For now, I'm working in GOT as a legal affairs. GOT is an organization based in Tanzania, dealing with technical issues, and we do working with youth mappers for helping them on different activities, generally in mapping also, and technical issues. Coming to our presentation, which is about leadership and inclusiveness. On the side of leadership, I'm going to give brief on how leaders which are basing on mapping groups can keep on building their group and how they can work as the leaders to basing to their communities and their areas. Starting by leadership, first you should ask yourself that, are you a leader? And if you're a leader, can you define yourself that who is a leader? Coming to that, you can ask yourself that, are you including yourself as a leader? By taking those three questions, you can find the answer in which position are you standing as a leader. Coming to the meaning of being a leader, you have to get to know that a leader is a person capable of making the kinds of decisions. And this role go direct by becoming a model that people can take an opportunity that to like to follow some things from you, that someone take as a goal, that someone have done something perfect. Let me be like him. Let me be like her. That is an opportunity. But behind that, not everyone can be a leader. It's dependent to your ability, based on the good things you are doing. And different to that, the more you'll be counted as from your decisions you are making, things you are practicing, those things will define you that you are very far to becoming a leader. Next slide, Eric. So from there are questions you could ask. You're a leader, but behind that, there are some issues which you could take in note when you are working with them. You have to point them and catch them as part of including or speeding inclusion or speeding inclusiveness. And here you should ask yourself, what does inclusion means? And when working your grouping mapping or youth mapper chapters, go with their university students, university staffs, you are leaders in the community, you are feed areas. You should know that how inclusiveness means to you and how could you make inclusion to your community. Based on that, how do you focus with contributing you should consider? Now come back, Ricky. Those three things are equality and equity. These things cannot be separated. So the more you are working as a reader, you should know that you should focus on equality and you should focus in equity. By making so, you should be also in diversity. And at the same time, you should be accessibility. Don't base or don't try in one side. The more you are providing diversity, you should be able to be accessibility. Next slide, Eriki. Okay, after there are Eriki. You went far. Okay. So after there, you should define yourself that the more you are standing as a reader, there are 5 things which you should consider. There are 6 things which you should consider are the key terms which could define you direct as a reader. First of all, you should look on the goal-oriented. You have gone next. Yeah, that's one. You should define yourself as the goal-oriented and should be confidential and should be knowledgeable. At the same time, you should be inefficient, and at the same time, you should be adaptive and change. Don't try on your own basis. The more you are facing the challenge, just change according to the situation is. The more you make your goals, the more you acquire more knowledge, the more you should like to be changeable. And the more you should show the effect to what you are working. Next slide. Coming to our chapters, which we are terming as our groups of mapping, you should be able to build this leadership and the inclusiveness by looking these things. First of all, you should get people involved in these groups. By this involvement, don't try only by looking the advantages only. Just take this as a part of involving all part of students. It could be both gender, the community, your staff members, or your staff schools, your staff university. After that, just keep people motivated. No, you've gone far. After that, keep people motivated. Just, you should not only lie by inviting them or involving them. Just motivate them that on our groups, you are making this, in our group, you are involving this, we are using geotechnical issues. We do mapping by making this. Just make your chapter to be sustainable. Don't let it pass by one side. By looking on how you can involve people. Next slide, Eric. The way you can involve the more you can build your chapter or you can read your chapter by involving people and other community. First of all, you should know how to provide meaningful engagement as a reader. apart from being involving people, just look how you can invite, engage other people by linking them with the real things which are occurred. For instance, you are just saying you are a youth mapper group. Just show them that we are mapping this and this. We are mapping building. Why are we mapping building? Because maybe there is a hunger, maybe there's a fraud, maybe there is a cause of we need to have more food for future. Just now it's for agriculture. Just show them that we are doing this because we need a certain thing. Just provide the value of your group. Don't value yourself because you're a leader. No, just value in your group and other people can do
Sasa hivi tunaenda kupika wali. Usende sasa hivi jua kali kwanza hujatoka
After there, you should publish everything. Just make things you are doing in the public. Don't let them to end only there in your group. You should let other groups know what you are doing. You should let the community know what you are doing. And you have to use the mapping network. There's someone talking. Can you turn mic?
Yeah, I think I have.
Yes. You can use the network which is around for you to network and engage with other papers. Through publishing what you are doing, and other chapters and other groups, other community can see what you are doing and can be able to engage with you. Just invite the engagement readers. For instance, maybe the group of Tanzania can look to the group of Kenya and Uganda and see what they can engage and planning, what they can do, what they can share. Also, they should have to share credit. Just highlight from what you have done with your chapter members. And at the same time, you have to look the engagement with your community. Don't base only to your group that maybe you are from certain college, certain university that you can engage with maybe other community members. You are a mapper, you can engage with maybe lawyers, you can engage with maybe those are dealing with agriculture, you can involve maybe from those who are dealing with engineering. Don't base on it because maybe I'm environmental science. No, you have to engage to look for opportunity, and you have to search them as a reader to share with other people. Come to another, you have to keep motivated. How should you motivate your group member? You have to inspire them. You have to take notes and bring them from the strengths. You have to keep them it fresh and don't change things normal. You have to change things in a good situation. You have to take things in tell them how things happen in awesome. Just don't rely on your basis only. You have to look them for more opportunity which you could share with them. They could be motivated and other people can, or the member which you have can see that you should engage with these people because they are doing something which is perfect. And those things you could be motivated with them, you should look them from other parts, for instance, as how we base in awesome groups. Next slide, Eric. Based on that, another point, you should build good relation among your faculty or your staffs. Basing to this can be differ from place to place. Basing to our basis in Tanzania, we have chapters and we have regional ambassador. But within our chapters, we have our readers and we have our faculty reader. So from here, you should have a good relation to your faculty advisors, and you should have good relation to your regional ambassadors. This could build good direct communication, which should, in case you want to organize anything in your campus, in your university, it would be very easy to assess it. It will be very easy to invite other staff members. It will be very easy to engage with other students which are not in the group, and from there you can be able to announce where your groups, and people can engage and can be motivated to join. Another group slide. Coming to the point of how to outreach the student and faculty. From here we are basing to those people who are not direct mappers or which have no skills on mapping. As we saw our regional ambassador Eric have presented that youth mappers now, we are not just engaged only with those who are studying maybe from science. We engage with all students and basing to the university level. So from there, as we see, our university have mix of courses and studies. So here you can be able to reach out that you take those students which are studying different subjects. By taking that good relation you have with their faculty advisor, he could be or she could be able to be aware on conducting you or connecting you with staff members which are standing from other causes. So you can be able to get them and to invite them, and you could be aware to look what you are doing. And there it will be the journey to join them and get them become members. And in case you are telling them about mapping groups, don't lie more deep. Just tell them in less that maybe you are doing this little, just show them little. In case they are coming, they start an introduction, then later, after being a member, they could look how they can assess the materials, and they can be able how to assess the things which other side. You have to insert communication chapters. Here, I think we should establish social medias, websites, and you have to use good communication to your chapters and your faculty leaders. Next slide, Eric. After all that, if you could run your groups based to what you are mentioning above, you should know that after graduating, the chapter should be stable. The chapter should be keep on. Don't rate that after graduating, as you was a reader, that the chapter should end there. So you should develop the pipeline of good readers. You have to plan the transition of readers. Just keep on communicating. In case you're graduating, just go back, look what they're doing, and just build a good relation to your factors and the staff which you rate to your school. Next slide, Eric. Then from there, I think here we have 3 photos. You see, the one who is red is reader. So those who have in blue, they are following what he or she show that we should go in the certain place. So from there, I should welcome you to involve with youth mappers. In case you are graduating, just become an alumni and stay involved with the other activities and opportunities which have been published in awesome groups. Just be a mentor. Remember to go in your chapters and help them on how to build themselves. Then from there, we can move forward as how you see the last picture, which is in blue and white. Next slide. Yeah, I think from there it's things. I wish you happy new semester for other students and just go help the chapters in your colleges to build and to engage in way. Remember to make collaboration within your chapters. Thank you. In case there's any questions.
Thank you so much, Emmanuel, for that great presentation. And again, I just noted that, as our chapters are coming back to the new semester, we need to also think on how our own new leadership strategies and making our chapters more sustainable. Yeah, so Youth Mappers is a great program, great opportunity for you to elevate your career. Yeah, thank you so much, Emmanuel, our leadership fellow 2023, for sharing that great presentation. And yeah, without wasting time, I would love to welcome our guest speaker. We're really honored to have you here, Charles. I met Charles at the State of the Map Global in Italy. He's a very active young man, and it's been great to work in Zambia. And if you are joining from Zambia, Charles is the right person to connect to. And yeah, thank you so much. I'll hand over it to Charles. Charles, if you're here, you're welcome to take it.
Hey, Ricky, thank you for that opportunity. And just confirm if you can hear me.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, perfect. Let me just share my screen. I'd like to share my screen so that I can just make a very short presentation.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. All right. Thank you. Confirm if my screen is visible.
Yeah, sure.
Okay,
yeah.
perfect. It is visible?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, perfect. All right. So first of all, my name is Charles Tilufia. I'm from Zambia. And I believe that most of you, we are friends on Twitter. We do chat here and there. But apart from that, you are surprised that I've used a different background of a picture instead of the other one that Elik used. So I decided to get this picture, which is showing at least Youth Mapper's background, so that you can also understand that I have a strong background of the Youth Mappers in me. I walk and I speak like a Youth Mappers. And I have a lot to share with you. So today I'll be sharing my experience with you. And feel free to ask questions when I'm done. So by professional, I'm a record and activist as well as an information specialist. But apart from that, I'm an OSM builder, I'm a trainer, and I'm also a co-founder of Local Knowledge Mappers here in Zambia. This is the first organization we've just found closer to OSM Zambia. But as we go with this presentation, it will be very short and brief, but I want you to know that I don't have a professional background of mapping. So I want you to start thinking from there. I never had the professional background of youth map or mapping, where people take maybe geometric engineering, maybe people are studying geography or environmental. I have a different thing. I studied records and archive management, as well as information management. So I have totally 100% professional background in terms of mapping. But today, I know that you've seen me in a lot of things. I assist in terms of mapping in a lot of communities around the world. It's because of Youth Mappers. So we're going to start our conversation from there today. So I'll briefly share my mapping journey. I joined Youth Mappers in 2019. That was on 11 September. So this year, 11 September, I clocked 4 years since I joined the journey of Mappers. And I joined Youth Mappers when I was a student. I was in the second year. So as for you, Youth Mappers, for you who are students, in case you are studying something else, you don't have something related to environmental, geography, or anything direct linked into mapping, please take interest. I'm a good example of those people who have totally different background in terms of mapping. So 2019, the mapping journey started. So as you can see here, Eric, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, perfect. So this time I had mapped nothing, as you can see. Zero building, zero loads, point of interest at 0. And this was on 11 September 2019. I had nothing. All right. So I had asked myself this question, and I would like you also to ask yourself this question. Is it about selling your ideas to youth mappers, or is it about buying their ideas? So I don't know how the answer will be. As a student, someone who is interested in mapping, or someone who want to make an impact and a change, is it about selling the ideas that you have to them, or is it about buying into their idea? So after I opened the youth mappers an account or SM account with youth mappers, I'd ask myself this question, and it was I think I never had answers to this question, whether I was supposed to buy into their ideas or I was supposed to sell my ideas to them. As I had explained, I didn't have any background in terms of mapping, but I decided to buy into other people's ideas of mapping. And by that time, that was Chomba. Chomba was the regional ambassador for Southern Africa. He's the only person that knew how to map from our group. And I decided to buy into his ideas. So I started my journey of mapping with Youth Mappers UNZA as a student. And Youth Mappers UNZA used to have a mapathon, the mapathon meetup every week. That was a first day, 14 hours. And I decided to join them. So it wasn't an easy journey, but I just decided to buy into the idea so that I can have something to show up as well. It was hard since I didn't have any idea in terms of how mapping is done. But after I got into people's idea, I had ensured that I was consistent with whatever I was doing. I had the serious commitment. I had interest in learning, and also I was very much open up to make mistakes. So Chomba was there to guide. So as you people, especially you students, as you are mapping this time, as you want to learn about mapping, I would also encourage you that please be open up to make mistakes, because this is the only time you can learn from those mistakes. So be committed, be consistent, and you have a lot of people that can share their experience. So is just learning enough or not? So I think most of us, especially us students, when you learn to dare to map, we like to go and sit down. Maybe sometimes we like to go and think about them. Sometimes we learn, we go and pack our notes, we learn about new skills. After 2 weeks, we forget. So the learning without practical is not enough for a youth like you. For someone who want to explore the mapping, personally, when I started learning the mapping I was in 2019, I never just sat quietly, but I started exploring mapping on my own using YouTube videos, open sources. I used to ask a lot of people that were more experienced than me, because I knew what I wanted, and all I wanted was the knowledge. Mapping is always good from practical point of view. So I will encourage you that as you take on the journey of mapping as a student, regardless of what professional background you have, please make sure that you do practices. Make sure you teach and share any of the knowledge that you gain from youth mappers with your fellow student. I think I just learned about how to open an account in 2019 September, and I started sharing with my friend that that you can become someone who is adding something to Google. I think that was my inspiration. Then I started teaching others on how to create an account. I was doing this in order for me to put my ideas, my skills into practical. So apart from that, other thing is I want to share with you the opportunities that I came across apart from the journey of me learning how to map. So Youth Mappers has given me several opportunities. And first of all, I explained to you that I came from a different background, but I honest that I learned a lot of mapping from Youth Mappers. So Youth Mappers started my journey of mapping. So even if you can see me anywhere today explaining about mapping, giving you a technical support in terms of mapping, and I know most of you will communicate where I say, Charles, I want you to teach me this. I learned those stuff from Youth Mappers and other organizations that I came across, but Youth Mappers started it. So Youth Mappers gave me the skills in terms of mapping, but not only in mapping, but also outside mapping, because I was trained in terms of how to learn chapters, how do I become a great leader, how do I involve others? Just like the previous speaker spoke about the inclusion and leadership, Youth Mappers gave me that. Youth Mappers also gave me also skills that I do use. I have different skills apart from mapping journey that I gained from Youth Mappers. This time I can do a project proposal for you and you pay me money. That comes from Youth Mappers, because Youth Mappers taught me how to do a project proposal, a good project proposal, and how to implement it. So I make money out of that. So Youth Mappers it showed me all these things. How can I carry out a research? How can I create impact in society? As you may be aware, or if you're not, this is your first time to hear, I've trained a lot of mappers and validators, both locally and internationally, especially in Zambia. You cannot talk about mapping in Zambia without, I think, mentioning Charles. I think those are some of things I'm proud of. And I'm not proud. I'm not only proud because I know how to map this time. No, I'm proud because Youth Mappers gave me the opportunity to learn and the opportunity to practice what I was learning. So I have a variety of skills, and you cannot talk about, or you cannot download some data in Zambia without finding my maybe my edits that side. So I have mapped a lot in Zambia. Yeah, and when it comes to impacting skills, I don't think so. You can mention about maybe open mapping in Zambia without mentioning Charles. Almost everyone will talk about me, just like who you are talking about Elik in Tanzania. That's what's happened also here. Specific work opportunities that came because I joined Youth Mappers, because of the background of Youth Mappers. I know that being a volunteer alone isn't enough, especially in our least developed countries such as Tanzania, Zambia, Malawi, these least developed countries in Africa. Being a volunteer is hard. However, there's so much to grab for so long you are a Youth Mappers member. So as for me, I had a lot of work experience because of youth background, Youth Mappers background. First of all, I'd worked with humanitarian OpenStreetMap for Southern and Eastern Africa. Here in Zambia, on one of the biggest projects, I was a technical support on that project, and I was selected not because I was Charles, though I was selected because of Youth Mappers background. When I submitted my CV, they looked at it, they found that, oh, I have a background of mapping, and I was able to give the technical support that they wanted. So I worked with World Bicycle Relief, Buffalo here in Zambia, as a team lead and technical support. World Bicycle contacted me through Youth Mappers blog, one of the blog that I wrote. Then they went there, they read about Charles, and that's how they sent me a direct email. Then we worked with them. I had worked with OSM Zambia on several projects. I have participated and trained with OSM Ethiopia. I've worked with Map Malawi as a technical support and trainer. So all this opportunity came to me because I had background of Youth Mappers, not because I'm Charles. Other opportunities that I got from Youth Mappers directly, I was a 2020 research fellow. Youth Mappers picked me because I had the background of mapping, and I used to practice what I was learning. And remember, as I told you, that I don't have any professional background in mapping, but after I learned from Youth Mappers, they even started giving me opportunities. I had a land trip to US in 2020, land trip to Europe in 2022 for the State of Map on Phosphor-G. That's where we met with Eliki. We had a lot of talk together. Mentorship from Youth Mappers co-founders, Patricia Solis and the rest. I received a lot of recognition from the USAID Zambia because of Youth Mappers. When you go on their page, you find that they post about me a lot. In as much as I'm not that active into youth mappers because I'm no longer a student, but I do give support to youth mappers in Zambia. I got a variety of certificate, guys. I can even share with you. I can give you some for free. State of the Map 2023. So I'll be traveling to State of the Map 2023. I have a round trip air ticket that will be coming for me. This is coming because I have a background in youth mappers, and I participated in one of the projects that State of the Map Map Award was doing, mapping with every door. I learned these skills of mapping with every door from ITAD in 2022 when I was with Eric. And when I came here, I found that a mapper award they were using every door. I had to utilize it. And I was the best mapper in Southern Africa. And I won myself a scholarship. So another biggest achievement opportunity I've created, I'm a co-founder of Local Knowledge Mappers. I have created this organization because I have skills and background from mapping, youth mappers. And I've created this organization that will be utilizing the skills of youth mappers after they leave the universities. I've hosted the first ever conference in Zambia. Yeah, now as I am about to end, let me talk about some of disadvantages that will come. It's purely volunteer staff, of course, and it requires a bit of your commitment, but very flexible. These things will come to you as you are a student, but always know that there is a lot at the end. Of course, you face a bit of maybe funding challenges, but always we encourage you to be innovative, come up with projects, be innovative to share whatever you think. You have Elic there who support you. And lastly, guys, I wanted to forget, because I have a background in youth mappers, I applied for to crowd Map Tanzania. I was picked as an intern. I worked with them for 2022. Even up to now, I'm working with them and I'm proud of that. All these opportunities came to me because I was a youth mapper. I have a background in mapping. And this time, guys, I give a lot of technical support to various organizations in Zambia in terms of mapping. They can call me, they consult from me, but I'm just someone who don't have any professional background of mapping. But I do this because youth mappers gave me opportunity to learn. I learned, I utilized those skills. I had to put them into practical. I shared with the community and I'm still sharing with the community. Isn't that great? So it's up to you as you are still a student. I encourage you as well, before you leave the university, please make use of youth mappers now. You can go to youth mappers website, read about my blog. I've been very honest to share with you that you can only utilize youth mappers as you are a student. And all this opportunity I was sharing with you are just some of the opportunities. There are several opportunities that I haven't shared with you, but you may find them in the blog. So from the experience, my journey of youth mappers was very insightful, very grateful. And I feel like I've enjoyed more than I was supposed to enjoy. And I'm just someone who has not done professional background in mapping, but I enjoyed like that. What about you? If you're doing environmental engineering, this is your profession. I think you can do better and you can even do more than I did. If me was having a different background, I can be like a consultant at my age at this point where people call me to consult me. How do we create maps? How can we do this? How can we cut what boundaries? I'll be able to, me, I'm guiding them. Right now, I'm guiding them. But I'm guiding them with the skills that I got from youth mappers. But what about you? You are in youth mappers right now. You have a lot of organizations that are helping you in Tanzania. You have Crowd to Map Tanzania. You have Eric there with his organization. They are all helping you. And apart from that, you also have a professional background from your school. I think you can do better. You can even come up, you can be innovative, come up with different projects that will be funded. As for me, it has been a great journey and it's still going to be a great journey because I'm still now helping the youth mappers in Zambia. I do help, they call me, I just go there, I can look at what they are doing, share my experience, teach them, I leave. I'm just like that. So as I end, guys, with you, I wanted to show you this picture. I got, this was an international recognition from the Youth Mappers co-founder, Patricia Solis there with Marcella. I think this picture was captured by Elic. Elic, thank you for the picture. So this was in Italy, at one of the university. Yeah, so I got this certificate and I still use it. So guys, if I want to be in touch with maybe the local people here in Zambia, probably I do go to the USA dialect, and I'm able to engage the USA in Zambia, not because I'm Charles or I'm what, but because of this background of mapping. And whenever they have a project, they want to reach out to me, they'll just go direct to Youth Mappers, they'll give me an email and I'll go and do what they want. So as I end with that saying, that is a Swahili, guys, but I'm going to translate it and I know you will read. So I'm saying asante sana, which means thank you so much, guys. And I can simply say the opportunity for Youth Mappers, they are still with you as long as you are a student and they are on the table. So the decision remains with you. It's up to you to decide what you want today for a better tomorrow. So guys, I wish you all the best, and I hand here. Thank you so much, Eliki. You can get in touch with me via this are my contact information, and you can reach out always. Thank you, Helik, for opportunity. Goodbye.
Wow, that's very inspiring, I would say. Even I'm very, very, very inspired by your work, Charles. And I hope the group here are happy to have you and hear more, your journey as a youth mappers. And yeah, anytime when you need a picture, I'll get it for you, Charles. And again, one of the things that I'm really inspired, it is like a takeaway point to the chapters here in Tanzania. You guys, after completing the universities, you have different kind of techniques that you got from the youth mappers. Use that to support the youth mappers, but also use that to ideate different kind of projects, as Charles mentioned. Yeah, so thank you so much. If someone has a question, let me just look quickly on the chat. Yeah, thank you. I can see a lot of applause in the chat from Simon saying thank you, Charles, for the inspiration. Yeah, so yeah, back to you, Janet. Maybe you can lead us to the end of our meetup. But yeah, it has been very good. Thank you.
Mr. Charles.
Timothy, yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah, I have a question, Mr. Charles.
You're welcome.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm a little bit behind, and I thought the meeting would be exactly at 12. So this is when I'm coming.
Timothy, I think we'll share the recording just after this. Then we'll also share the presentations of all presenters and all resources for this event. Yeah, so sorry, I know the time zones are a little bit different in Zambia. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, Janet, if you can hear me, maybe you conclude for us.
All right.
Okay. Janet, could you hear me? I think you're muted. But yeah, thank you guys for joining. And as I mentioned, we'll be sending all the resources for this meetup. And again, we would appreciate Youth Purpose chapters in Zambia, because again, I know some are joining in Zambia. So we have OSM Teams platform. I can also reach out to the regional ambassador in Zambia, who I've also had an opportunity to meet here in the state of the map, Tanzania. We could see how even Youth Mappers chapters in Zambia could use this platform to know the membership number of the chapter, also to control the roles, assign different kinds. So chapters could use this platform to add members and do a lot of stuff. So yeah, thank you everyone, and see you next month, first week of November. So bye everyone. Or probably we could take a group photo. You guys could sit on your cameras, and that would be also fine. Just do that.
Okay.
Yeah. just
I
also.
look a little messy.
Hi, Maja, nice to see you.
Hello, nice to see you. I look a little bit messy really today.
No, you just you look perfect. Yeah, if you can switch on your video, that would be very great. I would love to take a photo. Nice to see Paul, Ezekiel, Janet, Simon, yeah, Emmanuel, Ephraim. I think I pronounced that well. Edina, yeah, nice to see you all. I think the videos are coming. So yeah, let me just take the first shot.
Okay.
The first one is on. Okay. The last one. I'm taking the last one. Hi, Charles. Thank you for the smile, Charles. Yeah. Thank you, everyone. Yeah. So yeah, thank you guys for joining, and we hope to catch up very soon. Bye bye.
Okay, thank you.